Dominko, and I'm a concert musician and have been all my life. It seems that it started when I was 4 years old. It was near Christmas time, and they had a composer called Leroy Anderson. They were playing it's a Christmas festival. It was all Christmas carols. And then at the end, there was a big bombastic finish where all different carols were playing together and the choir was singing. And I burst out of the room, went running up the stairs crying. And my parents couldn't figure out what was going on. And my mother came up to the bed where I had my head buried in the pillow, and she said, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I said, "The music's too beautiful to listen to." Well, that's when they knew they had an artist on their hands, and they made the decision that as soon as I was old enough, I was going to get started on something. That hadn't been determined yet. It turned out to be the accordion, and they came across an article in the newspaper about this accordionist in my area who had won a national competition and had a teacher called Rudolfo Molinaro. He was the real thing, straight over from Sicily. He was a brutal, strict, incredibly brilliant teacher, and to go to a lesson unprepared was unthinkable. You could hear him screaming from 3 rooms away in Italian if he got really mad. But he was a great teacher in that he could bring out everything that was in you. By the time I was 10, I was being labeled a child protege, and it ended up, my first concert was on television on the Sam Levinson show. I was 10 years old. I was interviewed and played a piece called Dizzy Fingers. This very, very fast, showy piece, and that went very well. And that combined with the competition, my reputation was starting to grow, and the concerts started coming more frequently, which meant I had to have a lot of numbers, a lot of compositions to play. So I had to practice more. After my appearance on the Sam Levinson show, I had the great honor of playing in Carnegie Hall. I was 14 years old. At that time, that was the youngest person who had played in Carnegie Hall. Since then, there's been a couple others, but at the time, that was really something. I hated athletics. I was a musician. I could hardly catch a ball. I never played with the other kids. I was in my little room practicing my fingers off. So I got out of gym class, and I guess it's okay to say now, but back then, with the help of a printer and some finagling, I got a letter from Lloyd's of London, who insure movie stars' legs, who insure pilots, who insure all the big wigs of the world, and they insure fingers too. And I had a letter saying that Mr. Dominko's fingers were now presently insured by Lloyd's of London, and he can participate in no athletics that can possibly damage his hands. So man, that was an ace in the hole for me.
I knew a little bit, but you didn't really tell me about everything, about, your TV performances and all of that. You didn't tell me all of that until later.
I didn't tell the truth. I was out to tell the truth. They didn't
Yeah, you
guess
never
me.
told me any of that, and you didn't tell me that you played with Leonard Bernstein, and when I found out, then I started trying to find the recording because it was on TV. And it took about 20 years for me to find the recording of that TV show.
And it was the first show in the Bell Telephone Hour that was broadcast to Europe. And I remembered speaking to a stagehand a couple days before. I said, what do you expect, an audience, 10, 20, 30,000? He goes, oh no, we're expecting 17 to 20 million. This is going to Europe. I'll tell you, I'm not nervous performing because I'm well prepared, but my jaws clenched for 3 days. Just thinking, making a mistake in front of 17 million people. You don't make mistakes in the concert world. You don't go up there and just bang out a clinker, you know, because that's what they'll talk about.
We both worked at Southbury Training School, and I was looking for a piano teacher, and a friend of mine said, call Mr. Dominko. He works there too, so I called him, and he came down and he started teaching me piano. And that's how we met. We became very good friends, and he was a very strict teacher, which I was, at times that I found that a little difficult to handle because I was a big shot at the school, and he was telling me what to do. But that's how we met, and
yeah, over chess games, and we'd have dinner, and just about a year and a half. Things changed, evolved, and we were going out, and we've been together.
a long time. I don't know. It's a long time.
About 40 years.
No, it isn't that long.
No, not that long.
No, just seems.
Seems it.